Nice play by Dent. He spins out at second, back to first, double play. Good play by Bucky Dent.
Here's again. Now, Dent turns the wrong way, but gets away with it. Spins all the way around, gets to Randolph, and Randolph's returned to Chambliss. A brilliant double play by... Nettles with a good play. Greg Nettles moving quickly to his left, and they're 2 out.
He is unbelievably quick going to his left. That's less than a fraction of a second. You got to make up your mind when a ball's hit like that. Here it is again. This is really a bullet right in on him. And Nettles just, look at that.
Check swing, and Dent has it back in. Good play by Bucky Dent. Going back to second is Manny Sanguin. And there's 1 away. Williams gets a half swing now. If he'd really gotten that bat out, probably would have been a cinch base hit, but you see Dent on that little looping line drive backhanding the ball and doing a pretty good job of keeping his feet.
By Greg Nettles. Watch Alexander. He's going. And the pitch is taken. Munson's throw to second base, and they've got him. I'll tell you, Munson has come up with some fine throws in this series. Now, that's something I don't understand about baseball. You're down 7 runs. Stealing a base just for the glory of stealing it is not helping any situation along. Plus, you've hurt your team. Thrown out. A nice play by Greg Nettles. Spins around and throws him out easily. Good play by Nettles. Here it is again. Nettles isn't the best fielding third baseman in the league. I don't know who it would be. Look at him spin all the way around. Sets himself. Gets plenty on the throw to first base, and Sanguin's not even in the picture. Well hit to left field. Will it go? It is going, and it is gone. A home run for Thurman Munson, his 4th hit of the game. Fly ball out into shallow left center. Who's going to play it? Look out. And Mickey Rivers scooped it right off his shoe top. Good play by Mickey Rivers. Looked like a sure collision between Rivers and White. Let's watch the play again. See Dent going out. Here comes Rivers. White will come on from the left side. And look at Rivers just reach down there and catch it just before it hit the ground. He almost fell down, but holds onto the...
Driven to right. Carbo can't get to it. Yes, he did. Carbo one in, and that ball looked like he short-hopped it, but he came up with it. And the size retired on an excellent play by Bernie Carbo. Yankees lead 2-0 going into the bottom half of the first inning.
Get a look at it now in slow motion. Nettles gets all of it, and then it starts to sink out here. We watch Carbo. Oh, hit the ground. Holy cow, that was so obvious. Protest. I don't believe it.
Well, you know, now, wait a minute. Now, umpires can make mistakes, too. I'm sure they've all been made both ways, but it was obvious. I call it right away. I felt the ball hit the ground, but...
Oh, look at this. Look at Billy. Is he hot? Reggie has done that on several balls hit to right field. Look, Elston getting between. He wants to make sure there are no blows struck down there. Billy is really upset.
That may be the first time I've ever seen that happen in a dugout. With a manager and a player. Billy wants to get at Reggie. And that is being restrained by, that's in full view of the crowd, being restrained by Yogi Berra and Elston Howard. Elston Howard has his down. Billy gets around, but now Yogi's got him and trying to wrestle him down.
Yogi's got him.
Yogi's got him, and who's that on the bench? That's Bobby Cox, I believe. No, that was Dick Hauser had him from behind, and Yogi has him in front. And in full view of the Boston crowd on the right side. And certainly, as you can see, in full view of our cameras, and we would presume the Game of the Week cameras as well.
Want to get the kids off the dugout.
Somebody just put a towel over the NBC camera over the lens down there.
One of the Yankee ball players, they didn't want that shown, but unfortunately it was shown. But having room with Billy Martin and played with him for so many years, I know the explosive temper he has. And Billy just asked for 100% from his ball players whenever they're out on the field, and he
Bounce to short, might be two. Randolph back to first, double play. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. At the end of the half inning, the Red Sox nothing, the Yankees coming up. Runs batted in. Deep to left. Yastrzemski will not get this one. It is up against the wall. And Randolph will go into second base with a stand-up double. Well, we've talked all the time about how shallow Yastrzemski plays left field.
That's right. Look at how far in. If he were playing back, he could have bought the ball. It hits right at the base, as a matter of fact, on the ground first.
Den will have plenty of time. This does not run.
That's it. This is a good play by Chris. He reached out for that curveball. Bucky doesn't have quite a good grip on it. It's low, much chambliss. Beautiful.
Oh, there's one. Deep to left field. That might be out of here. Yastrzemski up against the wall, and he's got it. Or does he have it?
No, he doesn't have it. He doesn't even have his glove.
And the ball game is tied up. Paul Blair hitting his first home run of the year. And we've got a 3-3 tie. Yastrzemski made a great try for it. Looked like he had it.
I think the fan took the ball and the glove away from him. Boy, this was perfect. Inside to Paul. And the way the Red Sox are going, you'd figure Yastrzemski's going to catch this one as we look at it closely here. Goes up.
Well, he hit the top of the wall. The glove fell off. So we've got a tie ball game. Here's Bucky Dent. Takes a curve for a strike.
Down the line.
Let's watch it again from the first base angle. Good smooth swing by Cliff Johnson. There's the ball headed toward the corner. Yastrzemski runs over toward the corner. The ball will disappear from our view, but it is a fair ball. A double for Cliff Johnson.
Rivers made an excellent play backhanding that ball and getting it in quickly to Willie Randolph. And holding at third base, having to hold it.
Double leading off the bottom half of the first was sacrificed to third by Roy White and scored on Munson's base hit. Left center field, digging hard, Yastrzemski, and it's over his head. It'll roll to the wall. Randolph will be going for a triple, and he will make it. A triple for Willie Randolph, his 7th triple of the year. So the Yankees are still alive in the ballgame.
Here it is again, Frank. Yaz has made some great plays out in left field. This one he simply overruns, and the ball comes back over his head as he simply misjudged the ball, then runs it down, and Randolph will go on to third. And there's a final. Here we have a final in Cincinnati. The Dodgers hung on and beat the Cincinnati Reds.
White now with Willie Randolph at third. 2 outs here in the 9th inning. The Yankees are down by 2. That one is hit well to right field. And the ball game is tied up. What a way to pass Rizzuto. The stands are going wild, and so is the Yankee bench. Roy White has tied the ball game up. And you'll see it again on the replay.
And here it is again, Frank. Roy White is now in 9th place on the all-time Yankee hit list with that 2-run shot. But more importantly, we've got a tie ball game here at Yankee Stadium. A happy Yankee bench. They've got to work a little overtime perhaps tonight, but I think they're going to be very happy to go out there again. I'll bet you
a bunt. Wasn't a homer, I know that.
I'll bet you Roy will never forget that one.
Oh, I don't blame him. What a dramatic home run.
Swing and a miss. Yastrzemski goes after a bad pitch up and in. 2 outs.
Boy, that was well out of the strike zone.
Is up for his 2nd time in the ball game. He bounced out. Scott to Campbell covering in that 9th inning. Drill down the right side. That's going to be a base hit. And the ball game is over. Reggie Jackson jumping on the first pitch from Hernandez. And the Yankees come back and win it by a score of 6-5. How about that, Reggie Jackson?
Oh, man, got that curve inside. Look at the Yankees congratulating him. That's got to make him feel 10 feet tall.
So a single for Reggie Jackson driving in. Greg Nettles from second base, and a happy bunch of Yankees go to the clubhouse as they win this ball game in 11 innings. The final score, the Yankees 6 and the Boston Red Sox 5. I think, Phil, this ball game might be one of the key ball games of the year for the Yankees.
Could turn the whole season around for the Yankees. Everybody was down. They were trailing 5-2, tied it up with 2 out. And this base hit by Reggie Jackson, he got around on an inside curveball. Miller knew he had to catch it on the fly, couldn't do it, and just gave up on the ball. A big base hit for Reggie Jackson, a big morale boost for the New York Yankees. That's a tough play with that ball taking a tricky bounce. We'll watch it again. Baltimore chops it. Now watch Nettles. Starts in. It bounces to his right a little here. Barehanded. Then off-balance throw with plenty on it, and they nip Burks, and then there's one away. That's gone. Mickey Rivers got the Yankees off on a 1-0 lead. Holy cow! Hit the facade of the upper deck. Man, did that happen in a hurry. 1-0 Yankees.
And now comes Miller time. And you've got the time to celebrate something special. Head for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life. Here it is again, home run number 3 for Mickey Rivers. That pitch was down around his knees. He went down and got a pretty good pitcher's pitch right there, Scooter, and drilled it off the upper deck in right field for his 3rd home. got a base hit. Freddie Lynn tracks the ball down, and Munson with a big turn puts the brakes on as Lynn gets it back in. Well, Thurman was robbed of a base hit his first time up when he hit one back to the box, and Tian made an unconscious play on it. Now has a single. The scoreboard has two of them up there. One out, runners first and second. Fastball, and it's ripped to center, base hit. Munson racing home and makes it as Scott cuts the throw off at the pitcher's mound. The Yankees lead 2-0. Roy White has just driven in his 23rd run of the year.
Here's again, right back up the middle. Tian waving at it with his bare hand. Lynn comes on. He makes a play at home, basically to maybe get Chambliss to go around second base too far. Scott caught the ball off, but Chambliss wisely held it second.
The Fisk in foul territory, his first time at bat. Nettles is in a slump. That one is it, and that one's going to be out of here. Maybe that will end the slump. Greg Nettles with a 3-run homer.
Now comes Miller time, when you've got the time to celebrate something special. Head for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life.
The Yankees lead 5-0. Carlos May, the batter, and takes. He's got a base hit. Rice runs the ball down. Munson digs for third. Rice's throw comes in, and they're bringing Munson home. They're gambling. Will it work? No, it will not. Fisk makes the tag. Here it is again.
That's a double into the corner. Jackson puts his head down and digs for second base as you're watching Thurman go on to third. The throw to second was high, and the Yankees gambling with Munson. See Jackson going into second. Yankees gambling with Munson. Fisk has the ball in plenty of time, and fortunately for him, he gets out of the way. Makes a little sliding tag away from Munson.
Minnesota now leading 6-1 as Glenn Adams has hit a grand slam home run in the second inning. Swing and a miss, 2-2. So Minnesota and Chicago seesawing back and forth for that American League West lead. Right now Chicago in first place, but if Minnesota wins, they'll be in first place. Doubleheaders, Texas at California, Kansas City at Oklahoma. Oakland later on. Strike three. For the third time, Hobson has gone down swinging. And that is 7 strikeouts. Don't laugh, Dooley. All right, 2-2 on Tommy Helms. He holds that bat high right down on the end. Bouncer to short. Bucky Dent's going to have to hurry. The throw. He kept his foot on the bag. You know, I don't know how Chambliss can do that so often. Almost looks like he's got to leave the bag.
It really does. His arm grows a little bit, I think, or his foot grows a little bit just to stay on the bag. See it right off the end of the bat. Now watch the play over on the first base end. A high hop. He's got to throw a little bit off balance. High throw, but watch Chambliss. Look at that. Kept his foot right on the bag till the ball hit the glove. Has been known to lay down a butt or two in his life.
I would say he is the best bunter on this Yankee club. They're pulling the outfield in, way in. But Billy Martin is the manager. It's up to Billy what he wants. Now, this has got to be a little better bunt than normally on a squeeze play because there's a forced play at home if they are going to use it. Let's see what happens. Man, you talk about excitement and tension. Strike one. Well, if they're going to put the squeeze on, they got to put... Bouncer. Hey, the Yankees win! A Baltimore chop to left field and the Yankees win. Holy cow, another headache for the Scooter, but the Yankees sweep the series 5-4.
And look at him bobbing Paul Blair down around first base. That's the same guy bouncer that got the tying run in for the Boston Red Sox. A Baltimore chop. Nettles was able to field that ball, but he had no play at the plate. But Paul Blair just chopped one over the head of Butch Hobson to win the ball game for the Yankees. A sweep of the three-game series, and the Yankees will go to Toronto a happy, happy ball club.
A bunt. It's a good one. Nettles. Holy cow, that Nettles is unbelievable. That is his third outstanding play of this game.
Well, we keep saying Nettles, we think, is the best defensive third baseman in the American League going right now. Let's watch this play again. That is an excellent bunt by Frank White. Watch Nettles come in, barehand the ball, right there, straightens up, and a sidearm off-balance throw to Chambliss in time. That Frank White is no slouch getting down the line either.
Nope.
Third great play in the ball game by Nettles.
And he has taken two big.
Nettles once again with a fine play. Gets him at first place. To 3, the Royals 2, the Yankees nothing. Go. So he has a total of 18 on the year. And there goes another one. Grand slam home run for Cliff Johnson. And the Yankees lead 4-0. Well, Cliff Johnson taking his time going around the bases. He's going to take 2 minutes to circle the bases.
I don't blame him. Grand slammers are hard to come by. Boy, I tell you, he has been a big man in this Yankee surge. Here it is. And now comes Miller time. When you've got the time to celebrate something special like a grand slam ahead for the best tasting beer you can find, Miller High Life. And Bill White called it. He says that Cliff Johnson was going to make Zahn pay for getting hit yesterday. And he sure did. Look at that happy club.
Chambliss takes a breaking ball for a strike. Yankees lead 4-0 in the top of the first. Jackson struck out, doubled, and a run fly to right field. He's 1 for 3. That's gone. No doubt about that one. A 3-run home run for Reggie Jackson. Reggie has just hit his 24th home run of the year. And he now has 88 runs batted in. And the Yankees lead 7-2. And now comes Miller time. When you've got the time to celebrate something special, head for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life. Well, Reggie Jackson, I think, Bill, this must be one of his favorite parts.
I tell you, Bill, he missed a home run in the upper deck last night that I still think was fair. Look at that Yankee bench. That's 4 RBIs for Reggie tonight.
Here's Chambliss. 0 for 3 so far. And Chris drill to right. That ball is off the wall. Jackson is going to be waved in. It's going to be close play at home. And there's no throw. And Doyle chasing Chambliss back, and Chambliss is safe. Yankees now lead 4-2. Here it is again. This ball looks like it might be out of here. Jim Rice after it. It hits on the wall, bounces back past Rice. Jackson struggling on a bad knee. Look at him, sort of limping, but Hauser waves him in. Doyle elects not to throw home. And then he goes back to second base, and Chambliss just dives back there. So everybody's safe, Doyle and Chambliss. Oh, the Yankees now lead at 4-2, and the batter's Greg Nettles, who has...
And there's the Boston bullpen. Bill Campbell, number 22.
All right, 1 ball, 1 strike. Deep to center, but Mickey Rivers, with a lot of room to roam, makes the one-hand grab. Holy cow, that Rivers is unbelievable. Rice was around second on his way to third when Mickey one-handed that ball. Hit well over 400 feet to deep center field.
Here it is again. Guidry gets it up, out over the plate, and Fisk gives it a long ride, but watch Rivers go. Got his eye on the ball all the way, slows down, comes back a bit as the ball starts tailing back, and the one-hand catch.
I tell you, Mickey's a one-man show tonight.
He really is that. He's done it all, as he can do. Roy White comes over to talk to him. Billy Martin had been out at the mound to talk to Ron Guidry. No time for mistakes in the ball game. 1 out, 1.
One out in the top of the ninth. The Yanks in front 4-2. Foul upstairs, out of play. Strike 2, and the crowd starting to yell, defense, defense. Low, nice pickup by Munson. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rich Garcia will throw that ball out of play, and Munson gets a new one for Guidry. He just flicked his wrist at that and fouled it off. Back in the upper deck. That's when he's dangerous, the short right field porch. Little high, 2-2. Struck him out. Foul tip, and Munson held on to it. Look at Billy Martin. He's not smiling yet. 1 more big out to go in this game. 8 strikeouts for Guidry. Billy the Kid got so much confidence in this Ron Guidry and the rest of the Yankees. Everybody seemed to panic this year except Billy, Frank.
Yes, that's very true. Billy has played it pretty cool. He's got an outstanding ball club. Outstanding pitcher out there in Ron Guidry.
They're trying to move Blair back in right field, and they do as Butch Hobson is up. Single fly to center, line to left. Strike one. This crowd getting to their feet now. There they are. Yelling on every pitch. Strike two. Oh, there'll be a roar if he gets him on this one. Ball one.
I'll tell you, if Guidry needs anything to get him up to get this last out, this crowd is certainly it. On its feet around the stadium.
Struck him out! Holy cow, the ninth strikeout. Look at them run out and congratulate Guidry. Tremendous ball game by the youngster as he's being congratulated and mobbed by his teammates. The final score, the Yankees 4 and the Red Sox 2.
Correct. All runs are earned. That's on base. Yankees 7, Red Sox 6. Winning pitches Guidry, 14 and 6. Losers, Preston, 9 and 5. Time of game, 2:30.
Uh-oh. No, it's not going to carry. Reggie Jackson leaps. Great play! And a throw to first base. They're going to... No, he just pulled Chambliss off the bag. A great catch by Reggie Jackson. Another perfect timing leap.
Let's watch it again, and this is worth watching again. An outstanding catch by Jackson. Goes back to the wall, up in the air. That ball would have not have been out of here. It would have been off the top of the fence. And a great play by Jackson. I'll tell you, Reggie, much maligned earlier this year for his play in the outfield. But in the last few ball games, he's more than made up for. That was an outstanding catch.
Outstanding. I tell you, they talk about Nureyev doing the ballet. That was as perfect a leap and graceful as I've seen all year. And his throw just pulled Chambliss off the bag, or he would have had a double play. 2 out. And there goes Rice. What a jump he had. Muncy's throw, not in time. He stole that base on Figueroa. We're going to get another look at Reggie, Frank.
Watch, he never takes his eye off the ball as he goes up in the air.
I tell you, he tied the high jump record there.
That's right. He really went up in the air after that one.
Oh, this could be a 1-2-3 double play. It is. Holy cow. 1-2-3 double play. You couldn't ask for anything better. Good play by Figueroa. If the ball got over his head, that was trouble.
Let's watch it again. That pitch is pretty high to be chopped down like that, but Figueroa goes up for it. Comes home to Munson. Munson steps out in front of the plate. And his throw high, but he's got a big target there at first in Chambliss. And a big double play, 1-2-3.
Crowd on its feet. Figueroa. He's got... He got it. Oh, Figueroa blocked it with his body. Holy cow! He had no idea. He was trying to get out of the way of that ball, and it hit him.
It is again, Figueroa. Turning around, takes the ball off the right hip. Picks it up and throws him out to retire the side at the end of 4 1/2. It's the Red Sox nothing, the Yankees nothing. Three-two pitch. In the air to right field, Jackson. Did he hold it? He held it. What a catch by Reggie. Let's watch it again, Bill.
Here it is again. Jackson off and running. And let's watch this closely. Here he's diving for the ball. And yes, good catch. Looked like he might have trapped that before, but you can see Reggie got that glove under the ball and cradled it, and it was a good.
Ed Figueroa has given up 7 base hits. He's walked 3 and struck out 2. And yes, hits it deep to center field. Rivers right at the wall makes the catch. Mickey Rivers turned around on that one, but stayed with it, picked it up again. Dobson the batter. And another long run for Rivers the other way. And he's got this one on the warning track near the fence. There he goes again.
Well, as long as the Figueroa can keep him in the big part of the ballpark, he's got a little fella out there who can run down just about anything.
You can tell the fans are right in it. Base hit. Once in his eye.
Now's where your wheels start turning, Frank. You've got your cleanup man and Reggie Jackson. He hasn't too often been asked to bunt. Do you play it conservatively and ask him to try to get bunched in the scoring position, or do you let your big man swing away? Don Zimmer is going out. He might...
Deep right center field. It may be over. It is going. It is gone. In the bleachers. Reggie Jackson on a 2-2 pitch. Launches his Jacks attack. And the Yankees win the ball game 2-0. Look at the mob scene at home plate. Reggie Jackson being mobbed by his teammates, as he has just hit his 26th home run of the year. The Yankees win the ball game 2-0 and now lead the Red Sox by 3.5 games. A low pitch, look at him go down and get that pitch below his knees and rifles it into the bleachers in right center field.
Well, that's the 17th time this year, Frank Messer, that Reggie Jackson has won a ball game for the New York Yankees, and that might be the biggest one. It might be the biggest one of the year. Watch this band of Yankees mob Jackson as well, the fans are happy. And they're the Yankee players. Randolph, he's fans still. Now comes Miller time when you've got the time to celebrate.
This film is brought to you by Standard Brands Incorporated, the makers of Baby Ruth, Butterfinger, and Reggie, the super chocolatey candy hit.
The house that Ruth built. For over 50 years, it was the house of champions. These are the New York Yankees, men who filled the pages of baseball history with glamour, distinction, and plenty of baseball excitement. Hi, everybody. I'm Phil Rizzuto, here to relive a story not so much about yesterday as about a team that stands for its past. Great name. Great moments. And a genuine winning tradition. When When you talk about great names and great moments, this is one of them. October 18th, 1977. Reginald Martinez Jackson strokes his third home run of the sixth game of the World Series against the Los Angeles Dodgers. He not only entered the record books himself, but crowned the New York Yankees world champions for the 21st time in their illustrious history. It was a moment that will never be forgotten, but a moment very long in the making. It took 15 years for the Yankees to win another World Series, and it took a remarkably long, intense year of trials and triumphs for the men in pinstripes to recapture that winning tradition. Tradition. The monuments in center field stand as a memorial of the Yankees' glorious past. And determined to maintain that tradition and recapture past glories in the house that Ruth built, principal owner George Steinbrenner.
Well, I want them to be a representative team. I really want to, if I could capsulize it, I'd say I want them to be representative in New York. I want them to go everywhere and have everybody say, well, they're the New York Yankees. And I want a positive thing out of it for New York. They better represent themselves like Yankees in the same pride and tradition of the era in the past and the people that have come up through the Yankee organization. And
Steinbrenner's goal was to give Yankee fans a world champion. To do it, he moved aggressively in the free agent market to sign some proven champions. Reggie Jackson, an undisputed superstar who led the A's to 3 world titles. Don Gullett, pitching ace of 2 Cincinnati championship years and the owner of the best one-loss percentage of all active pitchers. To complete their dream squad, the Yankees traded for Bucky Dent, a fine young shortstop. Would all these star additions to a clubhouse already filled with stars create more pressure to win now than the year before? One hero of the 76 pennant winners, Chris Chambliss, didn't think so.
Not at all. Ever since I've been with the Yankees, we've been expected to win. I think the word Yankee just means, you should go out and win. So the pressure is not from that standpoint. It's just from playing good teams and competition on the field.
The Yanks were expected to top their competition, but some questioned if they could do it with such diverse personalities. The fans didn't question anything. They just came out to the stadium to see some good baseball. After all, once it's time to play ball, questions are answered on the scoreboard. Thurman Munson, the leader of the 76 pennant drive, set the pace for New York in the early part of the season with a hot bat that drove the runs home. The Yankee captain was headed for his 3rd straight 100 RBI season while providing his usual tough defense at home plate. Young Willie Randolph also helped keep the Yanks rolling with plenty of all-out effort. At the same time, Willie continued to improve in the field as he matured into the league's all-star second baseman. And setting the pace on the mound was Ed Figueroa. After winning 19 games in 1976, Figgy began 77 with 7 victories in his first 8 decisions. New York was winning, but the competition would be tougher this year. Like Chris Chambliss said, pressure comes from your competition. And the Boston Red Sox were applying pressure with power and some very big defensive plays. Few imagined that more pressure would come from the young and high-flying Baltimore Orioles. But from the beginning, the Orioles were a part of the race and determined to prove that they would stay in the race. Even if some people found that a little hard to believe. The 3-team scramble proved to be the fiercest divisional fight in baseball, featuring bruising action. High pitches that can lead to high emotion. And sometimes a few laughs on the base paths to break that tension, if only for a moment. Holy cow, Pat Kelly actually gave away a home run. He'd like to get it back, but it isn't going to come back. Now here's Carl Yastrzemski giving away his glove. This he will get back, but the ball's still gone. And now Lou Piniella giving it his downtown swing, all the way down. Well, ball players will give it all they've got to win a pennant, and so will their manager. Here they are at their best or worst, according to your point of view. Billy Martin may have had some trouble at times getting the attention of the umpires, but by mid-June, the attention of the whole baseball world was already focused on Martin's Yankees and Don Zimmer's Red Sox as they clashed for first place in a home-and-home series which had all the excitement of a September showdown. In the three-game series at Fenway Park, Boston unveiled one of its key weapons, Bill Campbell, free agent ace of the bullpen, and the man the Sox were banking on for a major turnaround. The Sox also unleashed their most dangerous weapon, power. The Yankee pitching staff was shell-shocked by a record 16 home runs in 3 games. The Yankees, well, they didn't hit any. The 3-game Red Sox sweep was, to put it mildly, a Boston massacre. Not only did the massacre set the Yanks 2.5 games back of Boston, it also helped ignite a fuse in the Yankee dugout. Rumors of turmoil and demoralization hounded the Yankees as they prepared to return to Yankee Stadium for their key rematch with Boston. 157,000 jammed the stadium for a 3-game series that began where the Fenway massacre had ended. Catfish hunter on the mound, Carl Yastrzemski and company playing long ball. Three early homers accounted for 5 runs for Boston before Catfish, still struggling with injuries, got tough and silenced the big bats the rest of the way. Still, the Yanks trailed 5-3 in the bottom of the 9th. A red-hot Bill Campbell gets 2 quick outs, and now the pressure's on Willie Randolph. And he gets something going. The crowd is suddenly alive as Roy White steps in. One swing, and there it goes. A big pressure 2-run shot that ties the game and has the fans roaring for Roy. White's blast just could have been the most important Yankee hit of the regular season. Had he not connected, New York would have been 2 games deeper in the hole and still slumping. Now, holy cow, it's a tie game setting up the scene in the 10th inning. Reggie Jackson due up. Greg Nettles on second. Billy Martin, the man who had confronted Jackson a week earlier, is now saying, "Come on, Reggie, let's win this thing and go home." Jackson responds with a game-winning hit to the corner and right, scoring Nettles. The wild celebration tells a story that will surface again during key moments of the season. Victory when the pressure is most intense, keyed by a combination of 76 Yankees and some very important newcomers. Another one of which is Jackson's sometimes defensive replacement, Paul Blair. Blair capped off New York's 3-game sweep over the Red Sox with this hit in the bottom of the ninth of the last game. Togetherness brought about through the test of pressure. But the summer trials were far from over. With the regularity of a daily weather forecast, the press continued to circulate stories of team turmoil. Billy Martin and the Yanks kept living on the edge. By July, Billy's starting pitchers were hurting and the team was floundering in third place. Rumors swirled that Billy's days as Yankee manager were numbered. But was his job in serious jeopardy? Yankee president Gabe Paul gave one answer to the rumors.
No more in jeopardy than any manager in the major leagues. Managerial jobs are precarious jobs, and Billy Martin is the manager of the New York Yankees.
There's pressure from the rumors, but you can't stop them, and I'm just going to do my job. We've got a job to do out here to win a pennant and for the New York Yankee fans, and I'm going to try as hard as I possibly can to do it for them.
Still, the rumors persisted. A meeting in Detroit was necessary, after which George Steinbrenner had this to say about his manager.
For 9 innings, you won't find a finer manager in baseball. What I've tried to impress upon him in Detroit last week was that if you can put the other qualities with the qualities you have, you'll be one of the greatest managers of all time.
And I think the air was cleared in Detroit, and I just hope that it stays clear. As history, I think it's past.
The decision to stay with Billy Martin may have been one of the most important in Yankee history. Few managers could ever match his strategic brilliance, and no manager could hold a deeper feeling for the uniform he wears than Billy Martin.
You know, you have to play for the Yankees once and be in world championship teams to really be a Yankee. And I think that I'm as much Yankee as any Yankees ever played in the ball club. And to be Yankees, to be proud.
Those of us who wore the pinstripes in the Yankee glory years know something about that pride. Pride in a name and a past that stays with you forever. Billy and I experienced it when we played under Casey Stengel. Billy always seemed to give his best in October. This hit in 1953 pushed his World Series batting average up to 500 and gave us our record 5th straight World Championship. Other Yankee old-timers now on Billy's bench know the feeling also. Elston Howard, the hero of the 58 series. Yogi Berra, who time and again broke the heart of Flatbush with homers in the late afternoon October sun. Names that are immortal. Ruth, Gehrig, DiMaggio, Mantle. And moments that can never be forgotten. Lou Gehrig's final appearance before the fans at Yankee Stadium after he had played in 2,130 consecutive games. Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak. Don Larson's perfect World Series game. Roger Maris's 61st home run. Pride in the pinstripes may sound to some like the sentimental echo of an outlived past. But don't tell it to Billy Martin. He was there to bring that winning tradition back to life, and an enormous number of fans came out to see it happen. Over 2 million at Yankee Stadium and better than 4 million overall. In the final months, when it counted most, fans everywhere saw a team come together and make some history of its own. It began in August with a combination of sharp defense, explosive hitting, and Sparky Lyle. Sparky had helped keep the Yanks in the race all year, coming in with the men on base and the score tight to get those clutch outs. When the Yankees finally started to make their moves, Sparky was there in the late innings day after day, imperturbable as ever. Signs of nervousness were invisible with Sparky out there unless you looked to the Yankee bench. The only people who really had to worry were the hitters trying to get a piece of that wicked slider. It was so outstanding that Sparky became the first relief pitcher in the American League to win the Cy Young Award. More important, he kept ball games close, allowing different Yankees a chance to share that spotlight on the Pennant Express. Newly acquired Cliff Johnson was one of several Yankees who thrilled the home crowd with late-inning power blasts. This two-run shot tied a key game with Baltimore in the 9th inning. In the 10th inning, Reggie Jackson won it with another big blow. the pennant race heated, so did Reggie. The homers came frequently, often in the late innings. This was just one of 19 game-winning hits by Reggie in '77. Ninth inning again. This time it's Chris Chambliss. That two-run blast beat Chicago 10-9. It also brought back a few memories of Chris's pennant-winning homer against Kansas City the year before. Moments earlier, fans lucky enough to have seen this game were thrilled by Lou Piniella, now a full-time regular, wielding a hot bat and at times a fancy glove. The Yanks were now soaring. The opposition was scowling as different heroes did their part. Thurman Munson cutting down the base runners. And cutting off potential hits. Shortstop Bucky Dent, a man with a lot of range. The left side of the Yankee infield was airtight with Dent at short and Greg Nettles at third. This year, Greg finally won the Gold Glove, and there was no mystery to that. Adding more acceleration to the Pennant Express was Mickey Rivers, who had the speed to patrol the vast depths of center field at the stadium. Even when running backwards, few could match the speed of Mick the Quick. At the plate, both Rivers and Nettles were as hot as the August sun. During one mid-August streak, Rivers was unstoppable, going 13 for 17 as the Yankees stormed into first place for the first time in well over a month. At the same time, Greg Nettles was on a power rampage, blasting out his biggest numbers ever in home runs and RBIs. Add his runs scored and RBIs together, and you have over 200 runs produced in 1 year by Greg Nettles. Also red hot in August was starting pitcher Mike Torres. Pitching every fourth day during the Yankee push for first place, Torres reeled off 7 consecutive complete game victories. That was one answer to the pitching ailments in the starting rotation, but there were others. Like Dick Tidrow. Once inserted into the rotation, the Yanks won every game he started. Another blessing for Billy was the healthy return of Don Gullett, who, despite injuries, managed to have the best winning percentage on the club. But Martin's real ace in the hole came out of nowhere. Slim Ron Guidry, a Cinderella who refused to be a pumpkin. After getting his chance as an emergency starter, Guidry just got better as the season progressed with a fastball that shocked the entire league. It was still a tight race on September 13th when Boston arrived at the stadium for the last really big series of the regular season. A standing room only crowd filled the house as Billy Martin confidently called on Guidry to start the opener. With tension building everywhere, the left-hander was sensational as he went all the way to nail down a big 4-2 victory. In the second game of the crucial series, Reggie Jackson took center stage as only he could do it. In the field, he helped keep the game scoreless through 9 innings with 2 outstanding plays. Just watch them. It all helped set the stage for the bottom of the ninth. Chance of Reggie. The score, 0-0. Thurman Munson on first after a leadoff single. Reggie Cleveland stretches. And there it goes. Reggie Jackson puts away the game and for all practical purposes, the long and tough Eastern Division race. After this, neither Boston nor Baltimore will manage to threaten Sirius. It's a moment befitting Reggie Jackson, who saved most of his power and clutch hitting for the final pressure months. Once again, togetherness, brought about by pressure and a growing sense of that winning tradition. Still, if the Yankees were to win another pennant, they would have to defeat the Kansas City Royals. Reggie and his teammates knew it would be a lot easier said than done.
I have a lot of respect for the Kansas City Ball Club. It's a quick ball club. It's an emotional ball club. A ball club that once it gets rolling, it'd be awfully tough to stop.
They've got a very good, well-balanced, fundamentally sound ball club.
They can do a lot of things. Run bases. They've got good hitting. They've got good defense, and they're just a tough team.
You know, you don't want to go in there with a big head. They're a tough pitching staff. They're going to be a tough team to beat, and we'll be going after them as much as we can.
I don't know. We've got a good chance of winning. We've got a good ball club.
As you know, last year it took us 5 games to beat them, so that's how tough they are.
Few imagined that New York and Kansas City could match the dramatics of the year before. But this championship series did, and more. From the beginning, the action was very fast and very physical. Kansas City was pressing hard on New York, but Hal McRae's body block into Willie Randolph may have been just what the Yankees needed. They'd lost the first game and were in danger here in the second game, but that play fired the Yanks up. They scored 3 runs the next inning. And a little later, Willie Randolph got a chance to answer the Royals. With a base hit that iced the victory. Although the series was now even at 1-1, much more fighting determination would still have to be mustered as the Yanks set out for Kansas City, where the Royals had held a large advantage over the Yankees during the regular season. In Game 3, pitching ace Dennis Leonard maintained advantage of that home park and the artificial surface with an easy win. With this put out, the Royals could almost taste the champagne, only 1 game away from their first pennant. Now the Yankees had their backs to the wall. The situation was made worse for Billy by a riddled pitching staff, forcing him to make a major gamble in the 4th inning of Game 4. Sparky Lyle got his earliest call of the season to subdue a Royal rally with only a slim 5-4 lead. With virtually nobody left to back him up, Sparky was never better, flanking the Royals frame by frame until here he is in the bottom of the 9th, giving the Yanks a chance at one more day of hope. Once again, the whole season for the two teams would be decided by one ball game. And what a game. After only 2 days rest, Ron Guidry is forced to start, and the Royals waste no time in the first inning taking advantage. The Royals want to take control of this game right away, but the tension that comes from this kind of ball game is too much for anyone to control. Fortunately, amidst this storm of angry bodies, some cooler heads remind them that the real fight here is for the American League pennant. And in that fight, the Royals are holding a 3-1 lead. After only 1 day's rest, Mike Torres gives a courageous performance in the crucial middle innings to make sure that lead does not increase. In the 8th, a clutch RBI was supplied by Reggie Jackson, narrowing the lead to 3-2. Now it's the 9th. Whitey Herzog decides it's time to go with his best, calling on his ace starter Dennis Leonard to get the 3 biggest outs of the year. The rope grows shorter and tighter now for Billy and the Yankees. Leonard is battling Paul Blair, who fights out a very big single to lead things off. The veteran of 4 World Series would later call that the toughest hit he ever got. Now that the potential tying run is on, hope begins to stir in the Yankee dugout. A walk to White advances that run to second, making Herzog change pitches again. Now it's Larry Gora facing a red-hot Mickey Rivers. KC is thinking bunt. But Rivers swings and rips a hit to right, and Blair streaks home to tie up the ball game. Pressure, now a Yankee ally, has taken an about-face for the first time in 3 days. Another pitcher, Mark Littell, tries to slam the door, but Willie Randolph forces it open with a drive to deep center, a 400-foot sacrifice fly that brings Roy White home with the go-ahead run. The Yanks are a team that thrives on pressure, but who would have imagined this? They score one more before shocked onlookers in Kansas City. And when you need just 3 more outs for a pennant, it's time again for Sparky Lyle. Fred Patek, the Royals' star of this series, hits into the game-ending double play. As in any game, there can only be one winner and one loser. The book is closed for Kansas City. For New York, one last chapter remains to be written in 1977. The Dodgers and the Yankees. Who could believe it? A rivalry so deep it could be a love affair. When the two teams opened up the World Series in Yankee Stadium, no one needed a history book to see the past. Dodger-Yankee series used to open with Whitey Ford, and he was there to throw out the first pitch. And much like Whitey, Yankee left-hander Don Gullett starts his 3rd World Series opener in the last 3 years. There'd been some question whether his arm was healthy. It wasn't just healthy, it was overpowering. For the Dodgers, the critical play came in the 6th inning. Steve Garvey tries to score from first on a base hit. Mickey Rivers fires home, and Garvey's out. That play helped send the game into extra innings. Time again for Sparky Lyle to do his stuff. And Greg Nettles, too. Lyle's pitching kept the game tied until the 12th. The batter, Paul Blair. Willie Randolph at second after a leadoff double. And Blair comes through again. Randolph scampers home with a winning run. The Yankees lead the series 1-0 thanks to another heart stop. In Game 2, an ailing and very rusty Catfish Hunter was not up to his World Series reputation. Dodger power racked him up. It was no contest. The series was even at 1 game apiece. Out in Los Angeles, there was a lot of talk about all that Dodger power. Dusty Baker reached Mike Torres in Game 3 for a big 3-run blow. Reggie Smith knew it was gone, and so did the Dodger fans. But that was all they'd have to cheer about. The Dodgers were held scoreless the rest of the way by a tough and determined Mike Torres. Dodger ace Tommy John had other problems. Some smart Yankee hitting. Aaron Munson set the example by taking the outside pitch to the opposite field, and the runs began to roll in. The Yankees, like Reggie Jackson, followed suit. It all added up to a 5-3 win and a 2-1 Yankee lead in the series. In Game 4, L.A. went for the fences again. Ron Guidry was nursing a 3-2 lead when Ron Say powered one to left. Watch Lou Piniella time his lead perfectly. Up to that point, it was the play of the series as Guidry wrapped up the victory and gave the Yanks a commanding 3-1 edge. Virtually overlooked at the time was the emergence of Reggie Jackson's power stroke. He hit 2 homers in Los Angeles, one in his last at bat of the 5th game. Well, that didn't seem significant at the time because the Dodgers shellacked the Yankees 10-4. Who could have known that Reggie was beginning to attack history? Game 6 in Yankee Stadium, the Yankee Clipper Joe DiMaggio throws out the first pitch. An appropriate beginning for a night to remember. The chance of Reggie had already begun when Jackson stepped up in the 4th with the Yankees trailing 3-2. Thurman Munson on first. One swing and suddenly the score is 4-3 New York. A few innings later, Jackson takes another swing and zip, the score is 7-3 New York. The Yanks are on the threshold of a world title. But Reggie wasn't finished yet. 8th inning, and the giant crowd in the house that Ruth built is on its feet for Reggie Jackson. Charlie Huff delivers a knuckler, and Jackson takes his 3rd swing of the evening. Deep into the center field bleachers, territory once reserved for the names like Ruth and Mantle. Yankee fans have waited a long time for this World Championship, but now they've seen something that has made that wait more than worth it. A touch of baseball wonder. The 3 homers tied Babe Ruth for the most ever hit in a series game, and records of 4 in a row and 5 in a World Series are Reggie Jackson's alone. All the doubts and torments of a pressure-packed and sometimes torturous season have been set free in this crowning moment of true baseball glory. The kind of glory George Steinbrenner, Billy Martin, Thurm Munson, Reggie Jackson, and the rest of the Yankees set out to find. Glory to match the Yankee past, the glory of that winning tradition.
This film is brought to you by Standard Brands Incorporated, the makers of Baby Ruth, Butterfinger, and Reggie, the super chocolatey candy hit.